Welcome to Wednesday's Homework Help, September the 11th for Henderson and Bailey. 50 people are attending the basketball game on Tuesday night. 16% of those were under the age of 10. Which fraction represents 16%? Guys, let's not make this problem harder than it has to be. If we look at the question, it says, which fraction? Well, we don't have a choice, but they're wanting to change the percent, 16%, to a fraction, plain and simple. So if we look at that 16%, first of all, you have to understand that percent is equal to, percent means per 100. So what we want to do is we're going to take our 16 and put it out of 100. Now that is what it means. If you stop right there though, you are going to miss it. You're in 8th grade now, so we have to break it down from now on. 16 and 100 are both even numbers. Since they are both even, you can cut them in half. So half of 16 is 8. And then half of 100 is 50. Once again, those are both even numbers. So cut them in half again. Half of 8 is 4, where half of 50 is 25. Now 25 is an even number, although 25 is not. So then that's our final answers. 4 out of 25 are under the age of 10. Okay, if you'll please flip to problem 10. Which group does not represent three numbers which are equivalent? The key word here, capitalized, is not, and then we're talking about equivalent. And equivalent means equal to. So we're going to have to look at this one answer choice at a time. Starting with the first one, we have 1 and 1/3. Well, 1/3, if we were to change that to a decimal, would be 1.3 if you T-bow it, and the 3 is going to go on and on and on. So the first two are a match. The second one, or the last one, the third one there, is 4/3. That's an improper fraction. So you're going to have to divide, T-bow it. 4 divided by 3. Well, 3 goes into 4 one whole time. So you get 1 whole. And then 1 times 3 is 3. So you have a remainder of 1. You always take your remainder and put it over what you're dividing by. So that gave you 1 and 1/3. That's exactly the same as the first one. So then that means it's also the same as the second one. So that one works. A is A-OK. Okay, guys, I could go straight down and go to choice B. But just like a test or anything you're given, you do not have to go in order. Say I'm a type student that I struggle with my 8s. On B, we have 11 8s, and we have 3 8s. If I want to skip that and save it for last, I'm going to come back to it for last. Let's look at C. C is 9/10. So if I look at my second choice, you have to know your place value. That's in the 10th spot. That's the same as 9/10. So then I need to look at that third spot, 90%, and I want to change that to a decimal. If I want to change that to a decimal, I'll walk away 2 places. 1, 2, and it would become 0.90. Same thing if I were to add a 0 there, 0.90. Same thing, 0.9. Everything in C is a match, so C is A-OK. Okay, looking on at D. If I look at D, this is 5/100. If I look at the middle one, that's 0.5. The correct place value, if I'm looking at place value, we have our tenths And we have our hundredths. And then we actually have our thousandths. So if this is 500ths and the second one is 5/10, we already do not have a match. And again, the last one is 5%. Percent means per 100. So it's 5/100. So the one that does not match here would be our 5/10. Now, even though I said you could skip B, you still need to know how to do it from a teacher standpoint. So let's look at B right here in the middle. Okay, we gotta look at B and make sure you understand it. The first one is 11/8. That line and that fraction tells you to divide. So we have to divide it. T-bow. Top number in, bottom number out. 8 goes into 11 one time. That's 8. Subtract that. 8, 9, 10, 11. We have a remainder of 3. We're going to add our decimal and our 0 and keep going. Bring our 0 down. 8 goes into 30 twice. I'm sorry, 3 times. So 8 times 3 is 24. You subtract 30, take away 24, and we're left with 6. We have to add our 0, and we have to bring it down. So 8 goes into 60 7 times, which would be our 56. So you have 4 left over. Add your 0, bring it down. So 8 goes into 40 exactly 5 times. And we finally have nothing left over. So 11/8 is the same thing as 1.375. It's a perfect match. Here, 3/8 would be the same. So we have 3 divided by 8. 8 can't go into 3, so nothing should be above the 3. So then we have 8 into 30. 8 goes into 30 3 times, which is 24. And then you have 6 left over. This is identical to this part over here of the problem. We're going to get the same thing that we had over here. So let me switch back to the pen. So we have to keep going. So we have to add a 0 and bring it down. It's going to go 7 times, which is 56. So you have 4 left over. Add your 0, bring it down. So it's exactly the same. So our correct answer in this problem, of which did not work, is D. D did not work because 5/100 is not equivalent to 5/10. I hope you enjoyed your homework help for tonight.